So, good morning. Yeah, just about. Oh, yeah, it's still good morning. Thank you for joining me, Jenny, and congratulations on winning with Environmental Society the best event of the year. So, yeah, congratulations for that.
Thanks very much. It's quite unexpected, I have to say. I saw the nomination. I was like, what's this about?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really nice to receive. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, how's the year been for you?
Well, long, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's all blends into one now. It's hard to know where it ends, where it starts and ends. But I guess in some ways, for the Environmental Society, the whole event thing kind of worked quite well with lockdown because it made it a bit easier for us to set up events online, I think, like logistically, because we're not like a lot of people running stuff, so that way we can be a lot few people and kind of do more things in that sense. Yeah,
It's actually interesting you say that because I feel, and obviously in the position I'm in, I can judge quite well. Environmental Society kind of bucked the trend a little this year compared to a lot of kind of your contemporaries in student groups, clubs, and societies and stuff. Particularly, obviously, clubs. There's not being a sport going on, so that's fair enough. That's by the by. But even with societies, Environmental Society, along with other kind of like consistent societies like Women's Network, have still managed to engage with their members quite consistently this year. Put on events, obviously for one that which has actually obviously won the title. But why do you think that is? And you kind of already said it a little bit, but also what does the society mean to you? Because obviously you're putting a lot of kind of effort into it.
Good question. I think maybe it's to do with personality type as well a little bit, because I think I'm not the kind of person who's really likes to stand in front of a lot of people. So for me, in some ways I've found that doing things online has kind of been open up that a bit more to me, because I don't get nervous in the same way. I'm not as worried about like talking in front of a bunch of screen photos rather than real people. And I suppose maybe in some way, like, obviously working and having a family, like the fact that you can do things online means I have had a little bit more time available, because, you can fit it around other things rather than having to go somewhere every time. And I suppose because I also work at Birkbeck and act as environmental officer for Unison, so I think it's been a really nice kind of synchronicity between doing the Environmental Society and doing the work with the union. So it's kind of been quite supporting. I've been able to kind of grow more of a network and allow those roles to kind of support each other and feed into what I'm interested and passionate about. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you kind of mentioned it there, and my next kind of question was kind of what impact does the Birkbeck and the students had on you? But I mean, I just want to grow a little bit on that point. I mean, you have a really busy schedule. You obviously a staff member, student. You do stuff with the Environment Society, the Unison stuff as well. So the fact that you managed to do all of this is, I think, really a testament to yourself, which is, I think, something obviously, as well as just the event and winning event of the year, should be really proud of yourself for. But I mean, obviously, that shows your impact on Birkbeck. But have the students impacted you in any way, or kind of what does Birkbeck mean to you?
I mean, that I guess has been harder, not seeing people, because especially with classes, it's like I barely know who's in my class this year, so that's a bit sad. And with the society, I think it probably would have been easy to recruit more people, perhaps, to take on more active roles if we've been able to meet in person, or at least to do both. But yeah, I mean, like the rest of the committee have just been super helpful, and we're like trying to. I think we have managed to get kind of a group that complements each other quite well. So we have Carol, who's doing our social media stuff, and Clarissa and Joe have been supporting with the events. So we had a few other events as well. And so now I'll start mentioning names. I'm like, I have to not leave anyone out.
Yeah, I know, that's the trouble.
Yeah. Which
it's been a real team effort.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's always a bit of a challenge, I think, with Birkbeck societies in particular, because people come in to the first term really psyched and they want to like do stuff with the society, but we always find that there's quite a drop off when assessments and stuff start kicking in. So yeah, we do have a sort of core team that have, sort of persisted, I think. And like obviously, I think it's quite good to sort of start with a big team, because people come and go, and also, as others are busy, the rest can pick it up, and like, so you have a bit of a sort of a tag team in terms of who can do what at different times.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've said it in the other Q&As, and I don't want to sound like a broken record for anyone watching the Q&A videos back, one by one, but that sense of community, obviously the small community that you've got with Enviro Society, is obviously really important, not just for those people, but the people that you're affecting, the people that obviously come into the events and meetings and stuff that you're putting on, and that's what we were trying to really emphasize with the awards this year, and that sense of community, and particularly with it being a strange year, difficult year, it's probably been more important than ever. So yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah, we're just hoping that we can set up like an actual social before the end of the term, so we can all meet each other before. Because this is my last term, so.
Oh no, is it?
Yeah.
Should just book a table somewhere. I mean, obviously we can. What's it supposed to be in 10 days where it's completely lifted, isn't it? But I mean, I think even now you can get out there and see who's available.
Yeah.
Isn't it? People are all over the shop at the moment as well, aren't they? Because with it being virtual, some people have decided to just stay away from London because. Okay. We kind of covered what the award means to you. It's kind of I'm going to put you on the spot here, and a lot of people have dodged this question because obviously it is a bit maybe embarrassing to answer, but I'm not sure. Obviously you've won the award, and you said obviously from the events that you've done this year, you were surprised that this event won, in terms of kind of how you'd measure success. But if we talk about it, kind of the events the Enviro Society have done in general this year, and you alongside your team, what do you think the magic formula is behind that success and being the best you can be in your roles?
Well, there probably isn't a magic formula, but I think I got to give a shout out to Joe in the society who organised. I say Joe or Clarissa mainly put on a talk about. It's by a lawyer, Paul. Oh gosh, I get his name right now. Paulsland, I think. No, Paul. Yeah, you might have to cut that bit out. But anyways, it was about law and nature. So there's a lawyer who's very active in sort of environmental movement, and that was and he was like talking about how how he sees law being used to kind of protect the environment and the rights of nature, and that was really well attended. We have I think we had nearly 70 people or something like that. so obviously that, because law is not my area, so that was sort of a subject that clearly had an appeal to people. So I guess it's like finding a niche that has a particular, like it's quite niche and this has an appeal to a particular type of people. There was a lot of law students there, no doubt, but not only law students. It is kind of a wider interest as well. And then obviously like how you market it, like finding all the different channels that you can sort of reach that target audience. I suppose that was one of the things with the law talk. It's quite clear what your target audience is in some ways, whereas with the one that I won the award for is a lot wider. But that for that with the Citizens Assembly and Extinction Rebellion, which is like one of the demands of Extinction Rebellion, to have a Citizens Assembly to decide on how we should take action on the climate crisis, because the government isn't actually doing anything. So I think in that respect, I reached out to the student union more to kind of get reps more, because it felt to me like it's more kind of a political point in some ways, and it touches on a lot of other issues of injustice and decision making in the kind of current political system, which is very kind of catered towards the elite in some way and very short-term thinking. So I've kind of gone off the point now, but I think it is like trying to obviously think about who your audience is and reach out to them. I mean, with this event, we turned it around in quite a short time, so I think having enough lead time is obviously a good idea, to have at least a couple of weeks before you can start marketing it.
I think the persistency you were talking about earlier as well, I think, and a lot of people struggle a little bit with it sometimes, particularly if they're new to the college, because again, it is inescapable that it is a unique college, and with that, I mean, obviously it has its positives. It provides a service to students that pretty much isn't unmatched anywhere else in the UK in terms of being able to have flexible study time, but it also poses quite unique challenges in terms of engagement in extracurricular activities and stuff. So when people are putting on the events, and sometimes at the start or at different times they're poorly attended, or you feel like you're not hitting the right areas, keeping that kind of determination, that persistency to keep plugging away and trying different things, I think is part of that formula. And obviously something with the amount of events and stuff that you've been doing this year and the amount of stuff the Virus Society is doing this year, I think is also probably really important. Sorry, quickly as well, when you were talking about the government not doing much on climate, it made me think of Boris that just flew to Cornwall on a plane to the G7
It's
summit.
embarrassing, isn't it?
Just craziness, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's basically it for me in terms of formal questions. Do you have anything else you wanted to say, or anything like that before we wrap up?
Well, I mean, I guess it's just promote society. Yeah. Of course, sign up to receive our newsletters on the Student Union website, and there's at least some of us in the committee that are leaving this year, so we definitely would like to have more active members as part of the committee. And it doesn't have to be like taking on a formal role, but like we're always looking for people to write things for our blog or to contribute to the newsletter. So yeah, get in touch. We're on social media as well, although I don't know the handles, but it's Birkbeck Environment Society, or Enviro Society for short. So yeah, look us up.
I'm pretty sure for anyone that is listening, because I don't know the Enviro Society handle off by heart, but our handle for the Students' Union, I don't know what I'm looking at, at Birkbeck Union, and we will 100% be following or be followed by the society, so you can find probably them in there, as well as the website. They're all listed. Okay, well, that's about it from us. Congratulations again on the award and for all the hard work you and the team have done this year. And have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.